So, the chapter is out for My Hero Academia Vigilantes, manga chapter 118, and once again, we are still in the fight between Koichi and number 6, but there's a twist. We actually get to learn more about Koichi's background and how he got to this point, and it's fairly interesting. And we'll talk about that more, but first, right after this. Hey guys, how's it going? It is your boy, Manga Man Drew, and I'm here to do my review of My Hero Academia Vigilantes, manga chapter 118, titled All the Fun. And when it comes to this chapter, we are once again continuing the fight between number 6 and Koichi. For the most part, it's what we've seen throughout the past fight. Koichi throws a few blows, appears to injure number 6, and at the end of this chapter, it is very apparent that he could have died. But the real context and the real importance of this chapter actually comes more from Koichi's dialogue, and we'll get a little bit more into that. But before we actually do the review, I'd like to ask you, if you haven't done so, to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I cover My Hero Academia content as well as Vigilantes when it comes to reviews, so if that's something that you're interested in, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And with that out the way, let's get right into the review. So what's interesting about this chapter is that we actually don't start off at the end like we normally do. We don't start off at the end of last chapter. We actually go a little bit more back in time, where we actually get to see Koichi throwing the punches that destroyed number 6's plasma body. We get to go through the motions and how he goes with the fist, and we see how he does the first hole, the second hole, and then finally the third hole, which we get the title of this chapter. But while this is going on, we have this vestige image, whatever you want to call it, of All For One, describing Koichi's quirk as being very simple, and it's described as repulsion and absorption, and how when it comes to Koichi, the reasoning why his quirk is so great is because he was able to sort of kind of make more practical applications with it, and certainly make it more remarkable based off his own skills and use with the quirk. And how All For One viewed it as not being able to really output that much. It can like reflect explosions and send out the shots, but that it doesn't really have that much oomph to it. And pretty much how he says that it lacks power to land a decisive blow in any way, or so he believes. But after he's seen what Koichi is able to do, he realizes that, yeah, this quirk has the ability to perform high-powered rushes, as we see what he is able to do with number 6's plasma body. But unfortunately, this is Koichi that we're talking about, and I thought that he would have gotten rid of that mental block that he has on himself to harm people, but unfortunately, the mental block is still there. The only thing that he did with those punches is confirm that, oh, I can actually throw punches as long as I'm not trying to kill him. Come on, Koichi. Like, I can't blame you. It's your character, and it's been ingrained inside of you, so I can't be completely mad at you. But come on, just kill the guy. I mean, you shouldn't really kill a villain, but I mean, you can kill him. Like, no one is going to hold it against you if you just kill number 6. I promise you. So yeah, we just have Koichi once again being Koichi, and pretty much from here on out, for the next few pages, we see that he's running, he's trying to escape being punched and blown up by number 6, as he's having fun banter between Knuckle Duster as well as Pop Step. They just have very fun witty moments where Pop Step is more encouraging and you just have Knuckle Duster who's more logical and realistic. Pop Step says, hey, you should probably keep running, as you have Knuckle Duster saying, well, if you do that, you're gonna get cornered. So it's just that fun dynamic that we get with the next few pages. And we once again have Koichi also throwing more blows at number 6 as he's being told by this image of Pop Step. I was like, okay, are you good? Maybe you should keep to safety. But then you just have Koichi, who is actually being a little bit more daring than usual, how he's actually taking more of an initiative than he normally does. Normally, Koichi is up and ready to start running away, but now he's going more on the offensive than he normally does. And while he's doing this, you even have this like image vestige of All For One, once again thinking about how even though Koichi's ability is relatively simple, that it's being fueled by a passion, and that he wants to know where that passion is coming from, where that obsession is coming from that caused his quirk to evolve. So once again, as Koichi is trying to avoid attacks from number 6 as Pop Step is telling him about the regeneration and how it's very quick. He's like, oh yeah, you're right. But even with all of this happening and even with this incoming attack coming in, Koichi takes the initiative. He jumps in and he uses his knuckle style punches to blow away number 6's arm, as he's talking about how when it comes to the situation that he's in, he's normally more cautious, but at this moment, he's just having so much fun, as you just have this panel of Koichi falling backwards with Pop Step on one side and Knuckle Duster on the other, and then we immediately go into a flashback. And this is a very interesting flashback because generally speaking, we haven't really gotten a whole lot of like real backstory when it comes to Koichi, and you can consider this to be more character development for Koichi and how he's the type of person that we see in the flashback to play and have fun, but has a problem reading the room, because as he continues to play and be the hero, he doesn't notice that he's alone and that everyone else has stopped playing and that he's the only one having fun while everyone stopped having fun a while ago. And this kind of bleeds into him doing this as like a young child, to him still having this type of fascination with playing hero even in high school, even when his friends and his classmates stopped doing that. And we get a really cool perspective that we really haven't seen in My Hero Academia, and how even though they live in a world filled with superheroes, not everyone can or wants to be or should be a superhero, and that there still needs to be regular people. And when it comes to Koichi, his classmates are telling him like, oh yeah, you just need to give up on that hero dream and like become more realistic. And Koichi kind of takes that to heart, because he begins to think that, oh, if I want to be a hero, I got to go to those special schools. So I may just start needing to think about living a normal life, getting a normal job, and doing everything the normal way. I got to make sure that I'm stable and that the childish games will eventually have to come to an end. So this pretty much contextualizes where Koichi is at the start of this story, and that even though Koichi had the opportunity to go to a hero school, even after he saved Pop Step, he could have applied to another hero school or applied the next year, in the same vein as how Gentle Criminal was still in the hero course for multiple years at a time. But he didn't do that because he decided for himself that he would rather live like a normal life. And even though he still was being a hero, he wasn't being a hero to be a hero, but he was being a hero to have fun and play the role as a hero. So this is kind of getting into why Koichi at the start of the story is the way that he is, and how he's transformed into this type of person. And this could be potential to what's going to happen with Koichi in the future, because as soon as this flashback ends, we cut back to the same panel of Koichi in the middle of the air, but this time Pop Step and Knuckle Duster are not around him, which may confirm that they are not actually there and that they are more vestiges or images of Koichi's subconscious, or just images of the world when they're at the brink of death. And what is very interesting about this panel is that we see Koichi with like a light around his head, a very similar light to Knuckle Duster as well as Pop Step, which for the most part we can infer are at death's door. So this is implying that Koichi is at death's door and that potentially he's about to die, because Koichi's last moments at this moment is that he gets it now, that he knows that today is the day that that dream comes to an end, as you see number 6 in this plasma fist throws a fist at Koichi, and we see apparently Koichi's body being incinerated, but what we actually see is potentially the jacket. And that's how the chapter ends. And for the most part, this is a okay chapter of Vigilantes. I still really enjoy Vigilantes as a story, mainly for the characters inside of it and the interactions between the characters, but overall, this is just a continuation of the fight, and it seems as if the end is still close, like we can really like reach out and grab it, but there's probably a little bit more going on. But even though it didn't end in this chapter, I really did enjoy the character development and the growth and the characterization we got for Koichi in this chapter, which could put a little bit more context on how he started off the story, because for the most part, this fight is sort of kind of a reflection of Koichi's first major fight that he had in the series as of now, and how for the most of his life he was just playing the idea of being a hero, and that was sort of kind of his dream, but now he has to throw that dream away. And what's very interesting about this is that we don't know what dream he wants to throw away. we can infer that it's the dream of being a hero, and in this case a vigilante, or it could be the dream that he's throwing away is of a normal regular life. So it's going to be very interesting to see where this is going to go. Most likely Koichi is not dead. If the mangaka of this series actually kills Koichi in this moment, I would be actually very shocked and surprised, but I think Koichi is going to survive this. I think that he's going to realize what dream he wants to live, which is potentially going to be the dream that he may just give up the hero life, which we are confirmed that the Crawler no longer is a hero, or that this is his last battle or his last stand. So whatever happens in this fight, the Crawler will be no more, and that most likely the symbolism of his jacket most likely being burned up is that the Crawler will be no more, and that this will be most likely the story where Koichi is born. Either he finishes his last duties at the Crawler and either goes about his life in a normal way, he has a family with Pop Step and all of that cool stuff, or he makes this his new hero origin and continues on the dream of being an actual hero and not a dream of living a normal happy life. So yeah, that's pretty much the chapter. Pretty much a really cool fight scenes, very cool interactions between the characters, and very cool character development for Koichi as a character. So let me ask you, what did you think of the chapter? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Do you think that this series should end now, or do you think that it should go on a little bit longer? Leave your thoughts down in the comments down below. Leave a like on the video if you liked it. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell to be notified for whenever I upload more content like this. Do all that cool jazz, and hopefully I'll be able to catch you in the next video. Goodbye!